Just as a warning, at the conclusion of the feeder craft show, we will be taking a 30-minute break that includes pictures before the start of the steer show. 30 minutes between feeders and steers, including pictures. We also have a phone that was found in the stands. It is black with an orange mark on it. We have it at the announcer stand. Entering the ring, we have Class 1 feeder calf, Rose Stegerwald, Tavon Taylor, Evan Young, and Cameron Hardy. In the makeup area, we need Class 2, Mackenzie Moeller, Lacey Hauser, Chase McAllister, and Lacey Kilgore. This is the second call for Class 2. Mackenzie Moeller, Lacey Hauser, Chase McAllister, and Lacey Kilgore.
Good way to start off the feeder calf show. This was a really fun show to sort last year, and I'm very excited for it this evening. I think first and second are completely different. I went back and forth on which one I want to start. For me, the white calf is just a little more there today. He's wider, he's thicker down his top line. That's a really big hip steer. And then from the side, man, he's got a long, clean neck and still really good looking. The reason it's close is his problems, I think, just get a little worse with time, age, and maturity. He's a little coarser shouldered, a little more up and down at his knee. I like to clean him up in his joint work. Today, he's still a sound steer that's big and stouter and thicker, but I'd watch that going on in the future. The reason it's so close is because I think the problems that steer here in second are a little bit easier to manage. This guy needs more muscle. This guy needs more power. We can feed that into him, hopefully, because I still think he's opened up in his foundation. But for me, he just gives up way too much today in regards to dimension and stoutness. He is more laid back in his shoulder, more correct in his knee, and cleaner jointed, but for me, just doesn't have enough oomph or enough in the seam of his pants to go ahead and win that class. That's an awfully good pair of very different type of cattle there. Bill Lundy brings me a solid steer here in third. He's mold-bodied. He's actually maybe a little bit bigger pin than the one right ahead of him, but for me, he ducks his pins too much when we ask him to go. He's a plainer fronted calf that still needs more genuine muscle and skeletal width to move up any higher in this class. The man that rounds out this particular drag brings me one with some foot size. That's a really long-bodied steer that has tons of extension through his front third. For me, he needs to be redesigned skeletally. I think he needs to get out and go with more flex and comfort off both ends. I gotta see that guy bolder ribbed and bigger body to work him up any higher in this particular class. Great job to all four of those kiddos. Let's give them a round of applause.
Results from Class 1. First, Tavon Taylor. Second, Cameron Hardy. Third, Rose Steigerwald. Fourth, Evan Young. Entering the ring is Class 2, Mackenzie Moeller, Lacey Hauser, Chase McAllister, and Lacey Kilgore. This is the first call for Class 3, Brentley Long, Colton Ishmael, Rose Steigerwald, and Cody Sawyers.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
For the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side. Goes the length of the floor for a layup. Up with Tide. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back three at the buzzer. It's good!
Before basketball comes to the shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Tadlock Trailer Sales has been selling and servicing trailers for over 35 years. They offer a variety of new and used trailers, plus Dixie Chopper, Simplicity, and Bad Boy lawnmowers. They also sell trailer and mower parts and accessories. Check out their large selection of trailers and mowers on display at 5645 Sterile 125 in West Union. They'll gladly answer all your questions. Looking to rent a trailer? Call and see what's available at 937-544-2851. Tadlock Trailer Sales, family owned and operated.
second class, and all the way down the lineup, these are quality steers that I think you're going to have a fun year with showing these guys. Without a doubt, I spent more time sorting 2, 3, and 4. Young lady, you're not getting beat in this class. That's a good-looking show steer that's just really flashy from the side. He's, without a doubt, the most flexible on his feet and legs, and the heaviest muscle when you step in behind him. That's a recipe to get the class win. After that, I'd like to redesign each 3 of these steers skeletally. I think all of them knuckle up on that rear ankle. Some of them want to toe out up front or get more straighter in their shoulder. So after that, I just want to study which ones are going to have the potential to maybe be better in their structure as they grow and get more maturity, which ones have more look, and which ones have more stoutness. The man on the cowboy hat brings me that one. Of my remaining trio, he's bigger pinned and thicker made. He's one that I think just has a little bit more look and presence about his front third. I got to redesign that guy's rear ankle and stouten it up as well. 3 and 4 get really close for me. I like the front end of this calf here in third. He's taller at the point of his shoulder and longer neck. That's one of the bigger footed calves in this particular class. He gets a little bit flatter there in a stifle shape. He too kind of wants to get a little bit stiff on that rear leg. I just like to see him handle the surface a little bit better. This is a solid calf here in 4. I like his rib shape. He has some muscle from behind. He gets kind of in his knee and toes out up front. He too wants to catch that rear ankle. He's the bigger shouldered steer in this set. I just like to see him blend just a little bit smoother from his shoulder into his forehead, but good cattle nonetheless. Let's congratulate all 4 of those kiddos on the job well done.
Results of Class 2. First, Mackenzie Moeller. Second, Chase McAllister. Third, Lacey Hauser. Fourth, Lacey Kilgore. Entering the ring is Class 3, Brentley Long, Colton Ishmael, Rose Stegerwald, and Cody Sawyers. This is the first call for Class 4. Lauren McIntosh, Hayden Wagner, Zoe Sawyers, and Justin Smith.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
At Security Bank and Trust, we bring you the best of both worlds. Personalized service with reliability that you can trust. Since 1928, we've been helping our community thrive by offering exceptional financial solutions tailored just for you. Whether you're saving for the future or need a loan to grow your business, our friendly team is here to guide you through every step of the way. Visit us today at our Maysville branch located at 1426 US 68 or give us a call at 606-564-3304.
This is the second call for Class 4. Lauren McIntosh, Hayden Wagner, Zoe Sawyers, and Justin Smith.
Good third class out here and a good top pair of cattle. Young man's gold steer out here, I think, just wins for fun. That's a good looking rascal that's really shapely. I think he's one which is a little bit more belly, a little bit more rear rib and flank than the one here in second. I think to boot, he's larger in his foot size and a little bit more even in his toe spread as well. I wish his neck maybe came a few inches higher to the top side of his shoulder. He's one that maybe wants to round just a nickel from hooks to pins, but I'm being critical of a very nice show steer. He'll be fun to see in the Grand Drive. And nothing to take away from your steer, buddy, because you gave that gold one a really hard run for his money. I love this steer on his feet and legs. He takes a really comfortable step. He's squishy on his rear paster. He's got a lot of length and extension up front. For me, he's got a little bit more daylight underneath him than that gold calf. I'd like to see him bigger body. Stepping behind him, there's just not quite enough steer there. He ranks second in regards to just pin width and lower stifle shape. And we could stout him up in the future and make me look silly because that's an awfully good calf to go ahead and be second. Young man here in three brings me one with big legs underneath him. He has more muscularity, he has more width than the one rounding out the class compared to 1 and 2. He gets a little bit plainer from the side and rounder in his hip. Not as much muscle as that top pair, but a good steer that I think is going to be good as a fat later on. Same thing for the young lady here in 4. That's functional cattle that are big bodied. I think that's going to be an easy feeding steer for you as well. For me, he reads just a nickel frail underneath. I'd like to see him more powerful to move him up any higher. Good set of 4. Let's give those kiddos a nice round of applause.
Results from Class 3. First, Cody Sawyers. Second, Brentley Long. Third, Colton Ishmael. And fourth, Rose Steigerwald. Entering the ring is Class 4, Lauren McIntosh, Hayden Wagner, Zoe Sawyers, and Justin Smith. This is the first call for Class 5, Jackson Moeller, Lacey Hauser, Isabella Spires, and Stacy Smith.
Disaster can strike without warning, and when it does, your choice of an insurance agent really matters. At Paul Hall & Associates, we understand the importance of being there when it counts, and our dedicated team will be by your side. You can rest easy knowing that we are your trusted insurance partner for when the unpredictable happens. Learn more about how we can protect you and your family at paulhallinsurance.com. We are Paul Hall & Associates, our family insuring yours.
To get to know people as people, not just customers. That's very important to Mosier Furniture. Today, we were lucky enough to have 2 customers call us and brag about the fact that they loved their furniture and they're still loving it after a great number of years. We like to hear that. There's no doubt Mosier Furniture and Appliance has a lot of great customers, but we're always looking for more. Mosier Furniture and Appliance in West Union, Ohio. We're here whenever you need us.
Really cranked up the quality here in class number 4. This steer that wins this class is flat out good. He is so good fronted, yet when he rolls back, he's got a big back plate and the biggest hip. I like to give credit where credit's due. I think that's the best animal I've seen at the Brown County Fair so far. Very nice place to start. Young lady right here in second. Like I said, the best animal I've seen at the Brown County Fair so far. The one here in second, young lady, you ran into a really good one. This is one of my favorite feeder calves we've seen in the show so far. He's near flawless on his feet and legs from the side. He takes a big comfortable step, really functional on that hind leg. He brings the point of his hock in from behind. I'd like to give him more natural base width. With that being said, this guy needs just a scotch more muscle when I step in behind him. But that's a good looking rascal that's built extremely well. He's going to be tough in the grand drive, young lady. Great job. 3 and 4 get really close for me, and I went back and forth between these two. I could see them flip-flopped, and I wanted to argue with you. For me, the one here in third is just more proportional from the side. He's got a look that he's going to be a pretty good fat steer when he grows up. He's boulder-bodied, a little bit leveler out of his hip. He's a narrower-chested calf who needs to just open up in his foundation, one that probably needs to be a little bit taller at the point of his shoulder as well, but one that I think profiles with just a little bit more quality from the side. I question this pair because the one here in 4 has more muscle, he has more skeletal width. I like his foot size. He's just a little bit rounder, coarser about his shoulder, rounder from hooks to pins. We just got to fancy him up from the profile, but that's still high quality cattle nonetheless. Great job, great class. Let's give those kiddos a nice round of applause.
Results from class 4. First, Lauren McIntosh. Second, Zoe Sawyers. Third, Hayden Wagner. And fourth, Justin Smith. Entering the ring is class 5, Jackson Moeller, Lacey Hauser, Isabella Spires, and Stacy Smith. This is the first call for class 6, Garrett Moran, Sage Miranda, Bradley Huber, and Leah Patchell.
another good class out here, and maybe we don't have one that jumps out and says, pick me, pick me. But when you start evaluating and studying the parts and pieces, when you start breaking them down and saying what's good, what's bad, this steer still easily wins in my mind. And I think it's even more impressive. The steer's kind of waspy. Young man's not scared one bit. I can tell in his face. He's doing a good job. That's a good looking steer from the side. He's got some muscle from behind. Got a little more shoulder to him, a little sharper hocked on the back side of it there. Maybe you'd like to soften him up in his flank, but he's still proportional. He's sound enough. He's good looking and muscular. That'll get you a class win. Good job, young little buddy. 2 and 3 have some sort out here. I like the proportionality. I like the look of this red motley face steer calf out here. That one's genuinely stout, and I think him as a fat calf is just going to be a powerhouse. He's so opened up and massive. I wish maybe his foot size matched his power up high compared to my class winner. He gets maybe just a little bit more rigid on that hind leg when we ask him to go. I'd like to see him maintain his levelness down his top line and out of his hip when we ask him to go as well. 3 and 4 have some sort. I like the hind leg of the steer here in third. Not only is he deeper bodied, but he's more flexible on his rear too. This steer toes out too much up front for me. Of my top 4 of this class, he's probably the plainest in his muscle pattern, but I like his body and his hind leg. I think he's going to be an easier feeding steer than the one we wrap up with. Man, what a fun colored calf to wrap up the show. He's really long necked and expressive in his muscle. This guy's a little bit too hard bodied for me. I'd like to dial him back in the angle to his shoulder and make him more flexible. We could give him more curvature or side view shape across the plane of his stifle as well. But I think a lot of feed, a lot of work at home, I think he'll turn into a nice fat calf. Great job to all 4 of those kiddos. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Results from Class 5. First, Jackson Moeller. Second, Lacey Hauser. Third, Stacy Smith. Fourth, Isabella Spires. Entering the ring is Class 6, Garrett Moran, Sage Miranda, Bradley Huber, and Leah Patchell. In the makeup area, we need Class 7, Ava Miranda, Holden Sweet, and Quinn Contine.
Winter's here and it's time to service your vehicle to prepare for those chilly days ahead. Bowling Auto Service is here to help. Sardinia's local auto repair expert has built their reputation on hard work, integrity, and auto repair expertise. Bowling Auto Service has batteries, brakes, inspections, oil changes, tire diagnostics, and more. Call or stop by today for specials. 12702 Fight Hawk Road in Sardinia or 937-213-2046. Visit them online at bowlingautomotiveservice.com. Insurance protection for you and your family. John Wood Insurance has helped thousands of families with their insurance needs since 1891. For service you can trust, contact John Wood Insurance in Georgetown at 937-378-4124, in Owensville at 513-732-2600, in West Union at 937-544-5505, or in Peebles at 937-587-2246. That's John Wood Insurance.
We all have individual needs when it comes to our prescriptions. Why not choose a pharmacy that offers personalized, friendly service that's also convenient? Health Source of Ohio pharmacies offer free prescription delivery within their service area, free shipping on your mail order prescriptions, auto refill, and more. Call 513-707-9900 or visit healthsourceofohio.org for more information. Stop by any of the pharmacy locations in Seaman, Mount Orb, or Batavia to meet the staff. Health Source of Ohio is proud to be the source for pharmacy in your community.
and a close pair of them here at the top end. I'd like to redesign both of these cattle and their hip structure. They both get a little bit short and round out of their hip, but they're the two muscular ones with some extra body and skeletal width as well. For me, I like the front 2/3 of this black calf considerably better. I think his neck comes really high out of a really laid back shoulder. He's robust there in his rib cage and has some muscularity in the back of his shoulder. I like the curvature to his knee as well. When we set him into motion, although he kind of ducks his pins and rounds out of his hip, and he's still really flexible in his hock and his rear leg. That's going to be an easy feeding type of a calf. He's going to be a nice fat steer. The one here in second's got a little bit more daylight underneath him. I'd like to see him bigger body, but that's still good cattle. He's got a big old foot, and even on his toe spread, he takes a comfortable step. He just gets short and round out of his hip and just doesn't have that extra rib and center body mass we find in our class winner, but a good steer that I think has a bright future. Just got to get him a little bit fuller in his middle. Nice calf here in third. The profile is probably a little bit more attractively than both my first and second. He's a long neck steer that's a stronger spine and much leveler out of his hip. For me, he's a narrower gauge steer all the way through. He needs to open up in his chest, his forerib, and his pin set. Him too also needs to be a little bit softer middle going forward, but I think you can feed those things into him, young man. Good looking calf to go ahead and be third. One that rounds out the class is probably the most extended up front. I love his length and extension about his neck. He has some expression there to his muscle, but another one that just gets too narrow in his chest, his forerib, and from behind. I got to see this guy more flexible on his rear leg to move him up any higher in this particular class. Love his front end look though. Good class. Let's congratulate all four of those kiddos with a round of applause.
Results from Class 6. First, Garrett Moran. Second, Leah Patchell. Third, Bradley Huber. Fourth, Sage Miranda. Entering the ring is Class 7, Ava Miranda, Holden Sweet, and Quinn Cottine. In the makeup area, we need Class 8, Alyssa Fisher, Gwyneth Souter, and Holden Sweet.
More than a century of service. Let that sink in for a moment. For more than 100 years, since 1908 and through 4 generations of family-owned business, Georgetown Marble and Granite has stood firm in our community. They've helped thousands of families pay their respects and have memorialized so many lives gone, but not forgotten. When that difficult time comes, Georgetown Marble and Granite will be there to assist you too. Visit their location on East North Street in Georgetown or call 937-378-6314.
What does the Brown County OSU Extension Office do? They help develop our youth, protect our water, promote our farms, and build our communities. What can you do to help them accomplish this mission? Vote yes for the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy Renewal. Because this levy is a renewal, it will not result in any new taxes and is less than 1% of your property tax. Let's grow the future of Brown County agriculture together. Please vote yes on November 5th to renew the Brown County OSU Extension Tax Levy, paid for by Brown County Extension Support Group.
Lena Zermley, we also need you in the show ring with your Class 7 steer.
Another competitive class with some sort here. I think you could do a few different things, but I think the most complete steer that rises to the forefront for just checking off a lot of boxes, the young man's white one. I think that's a really powerful steer whose body type and just curvature to his rib might be as good as any of them we've seen. I like that about him a lot. He just looks like easy feeding cattle. He parks his hop just to maybe a little straighter than ideal, but right now it certainly doesn't hinder his ability to get out and take a comfortable step. I like where his ankle hits the surface and he flexes it down. He's not the longest, levelest hip calf in the world. He's not the fanciest fronted calf we've seen in the show ring today, but that's still a really practical, proportional, stout, big-bodied, easy-feeding calf. That's a good steer. It's going to make a nice fat one. 2 and 3 have some sort. I just think there's look at this steer here in second. It's just going to be easier to feed. Not only is he bigger bodied, but I think here's a steer that he too has some shoulder, but I think his shoulder is a little bit more inside of his body wall. I think he's more laid back in his knee. His rear ankle and hind leg, I think, are just more appropriate with maintaining him on down the future and making sure he stays sound. That steer gets a little bit more shoulder than our class winner. He gets a little bit too easy there in his top line. Although he's a stout calf, I don't think he's as genuinely muscular dimensional as the one that wins that class. The steer here in third has some out there pieces and some class leading pieces as well. His neck and head are the most attractive in this particular drive. He's got big feet and he's got some genuine expression up high. This steer's pretty out his shoulder, and of my top 3, he's the flattest in his forerib. He wants to get too high in his tail head for me, and at times he just never really wants to flex that hock. He takes a comfortable step, but I'd like to see him flex that hock under ankle, which is an ankle more comfort. But the big thing, I like to readjust his shoulder and put it inside of his body just a little bit more. Young lady that wraps up the class here, that's a good calf. He has some expression, he's big-footed, he's sound enough. I just think maybe we have some fancier steers in 1, 2, and 3. This guy probably needs to be deeper body, more laid back in the angle to his shoulder as well. Good class. Let's give all 4 of those kiddos a good round of applause.
Results from Class 7. First, Holden Sweet. Second, Quinn Cottine. Third, Ava Miranda. Fourth, Lena Zermley. Entering the ring, we have Class 8, Alyssa Fisher, Gwyneth Souter, and Holden Sweet. In the makeup area, we need Class 1 Market Heifer, Presley McQueen, Leah Patchell, and Mackenzie Moeller.
When you're trying to find the best deal on a home or car, you shop around. When it comes to finding the best deal for insuring those things, it just makes sense to shop around too. That's why Column Insurance works as an independent agency. One agency, multiple carriers, allowing your agent to shop for the company that best fits your needs and budget. Column Insurance works with Nationwide and Nationwide Agribusiness, Travelers, Progressive, and more. Stop by Column Insurance in Georgetown to speak to their friendly agents, Jay, Carolyn, or Stacy, or call 378-6947 for a free quote today.
Here to wrap up the steer portion of the feeder show, we end on definitely a good note. Young lady wins this class very, very easily, though. That's a big backed one with a big old hind end in him as well. I like that he's a thick, powerful, big-bodied one, but that hind leg just won't quit. I'd like to change him to his front third. He wants to run downhill. He toes out a little bit up front. I like to square him up at his knee. That's being nitpicky of a very, very high-quality steer, but that's where he needs to be adjusted. Good cattle there at number 1. Good cattle here in 2 and 3 and well, and they are night and day different. The one that I think got a little bit better future, the one that I think is going to be a little bit easier to feed is young lady's Blue Roan steer. He patterns and profiles with just a little bit more look. He's smoother shoulders, stronger top, and leveler out of his hip. That guy needs to have a little bit more body as well. He's not near as stout as this Shar here in 3rd. Just in regards to muscle, young man, you win the class on power. But again, you got to put a lot of parts and pieces into these calves, and to me, he's a little piecey. He's bigger shouldered and rounder hipped. I'd like to see him more attractive about his front third as well, but a good, powerful steer nonetheless. Great job. Let's give those trio of kiddos a good round of applause.
Entering the ring is Class 1 Market Heifer, Presley McQueen, Leah Patchell, and Mackenzie Moeller. Results from Class 8, first, Gwyneth Souter, second, Alyssa Fisher, third, Holden Sweet.
starting here with the feeder market heifers. From top to bottom, maybe the deepest class in terms of all three of these cattle out here, I think are really good for their respective type and kind. First and second get really close for me. To me, the heifer up front is just so burly and massive. For one being that stout and that dense, she's still sound and meets her track. She's maybe a little bit quick, and I think the one in second has more lateness and maturity. I think the one in second is going to be a little bit bigger, but that one up front still awfully proportional. I think she's just got a little bit more rib, stoutness, and power today. Like I said, the one in second's a little bit stretchier necked. I think she's a later maturing female. I think pound for pound, she's just as stout as that heifer, but she's not quite as stout in her foot and bone size. She's not quite as bold ribbed or maybe as soft centered as that one we lead off with. Red heifer out here in third is still a good market heifer. She's really shapely out of the back of her shoulder, got a big pin set laid in her, still proportional and attractive from the side. Of these three, she's built the most up and down in her shoulder and knee and hock. I gotta see her a little bit softer flanked as well and work her up any higher in this class. Good trio of market heifers. Let's give those girls a nice round of applause.
Entering the ring is Class 2 market heifer, Jackson Moeller, Ellie Henson, Isabella Spires, and Bailey Joy Davis. Results from Class 1 market heifer: first, Mackenzie Moeller; second, Presley McQueen; third, Leah Patchell. At this time, we need all first and second place calves to be making their way to the makeup area. From Class 1, Tavon Taylor and Cameron Hardy. From Class 2, Mackenzie Moeller and Chase McAllister. From Class 3, Cody Sawyers and Brentley Long. Class 4, Lauren McIntosh and Zoe Sawyers. Class 5, Jackson Moeller and Lacey Hauser. Class 6, Garrett Moran and Leah Patchell. Class 7, Holden Sweet and Quinn Conti. Class 8, Gwyneth Souter and Alyssa Fisher. And Class 1 market heifer, Mackenzie Moeller and Presley McQueen.
Excellent way to wrap up the feeder show out here, and I apologize for taking just a nickel more time on this class, but it wasn't to decide who the class winner was. Young man won that hands down. That's a really stout heifer that can still get out and go. She's too high in her tail head for me. She wants to run downhill just ever so slightly. That's where I'd like to change her, but a powerful heifer that still has some look. Nice way to start. After that, 2 and 3 have some sort, and I went back and forth and back and forth. I think the one here in second's cleaner about her chest. She's much longer necked and more attractive about her skull and her jaw density. She's one that's got a little bit more expression down her top line and has more expression there to her quarter. She's one that wants to get up on that rear ankle a little bit too rigidly. I'd like to dial her back in the angle to her shoulder, but one that I still call sound enough. I like her muscle pattern, I like her look up front a little bit better. The one here in third, I contemplated a switch because I think she does take a more comfortable step. I think she's more laid back in the angle to her shoulder. I think she's bigger body. She's a fatter chested heifer that gets a little bit thicker fronted. She's one that I think just needs more lower stifle, lower quarter shape to maybe overtake that pair, but a good one nonetheless. Very big body type of a female. And we finish the show up with one that's still high quality. She's a lot longer neck than the one there in third. Really long-sided female. I just got to see her deeper body, rounder rib, and just have more thickness when I step in behind her. Good way to wrap up the feeder steer show. Let's give these kiddos a good round of applause.
Entering the ring for our champion feeder calf, from Class 1, Tavon Taylor. From Class 2, Mackenzie Moeller. From Class 3, Cody Sawyers. Class 4, Lauren McIntosh. Class 5, Jackson Moeller. Class 6, Garrett Moran. Class 7, Holden Sweet. Class 8, Gwyneth Souter. Class 1, Market Heifer, Mackenzie Moeller. And Class 2, Market Heifer, Jackson Moeller.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxler Tractor.
Before the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side. Goes the length of the floor for a layup up with Tide. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back three at the buzzer. It's good.
Before basketball comes to the shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Tadlock Trailer Sales has been selling and servicing trailers for over 35 years. They offer a variety of new and used trailers, plus Dixie chopper, Simplicity, and Bad Boy lawnmowers. They also sell trailer and mower parts and accessories. Check out their large selection of trailers and mowers on display at 5645 Sterile 125 in West Union. They'll gladly answer all your questions. Looking to rent a trailer? Call and see what's available at 937-544-2851. Tadlock Trailer Sales, family owned and operated.
been a really fun feeder steer show. This is one of my favorite shows to judge last year, and it definitely exceeded my expectations this year. It's been a lot of fun, very high quality, great livestock from top to bottom in a lot of these classes. Class number 1, there was a close pair. We used the cool looking one with more muscle. He needs to be more laid back in his knee and smoother shouldered out here. Class 2 winner, that's a solid calf. He's sound structured, he's good looking, he just needs more top, more belly. Those are one things that we can't feed into him, and I'd rather use one that's sound and good looking that just needs some extra, but he does need a little bit more stoutness and power. I like this gold steer out of class number 3. He's hard to throw a major rock at. He's proportional, he's good looking, he has some genuine muscle. Is he the stoutest one out here? No, but does he have enough? Yes sir, he does. And I still think his hind leg is awfully good. He wants to run downhill just a scotch. He gets rounder just a nickel from hooks to pins, and that's what I see in him, but an awfully good calf. I love this calf out of this next class. Like I said, one of the best animals I've seen at the fair so far, if not the best. The one out of this next class, painted up steer, he won that particular division for having the best blend of look and muscle. He gets a little bit straighter fronted out here in the Grand Drive. I like to see him softer middle. We had a pair of cattle here at the top end of the class here that I thought both were fairly close. This steer had a more attractive front 2/3. This guy gets a little bit round in his hip. I'd like to see him just a little bit taller at the point of his shoulder as well. This white steer coming out next, I think she's really solid. He's big backed, he's big ended, he's bold ribbed and still proportional. He gets shorter and rounder out of his hip and parks his hock a little straight. Certainly doesn't hinder his ability to get out and take a comfortable step. A good calf out here. Another one that's in the hunt is right here in front of me. That one's the biggest bodied steer. That's the thickest ended steer. I like his hind leg. Up front, he needs redesigned. He wants to run downhill and break a little bit behind his shoulder. He toes out in those front 2 and gets a little bit narrow in his knee. That's where I'd like to change that guy, but there's a lot of good things about him. He's certainly in the hunt. The market heifers are very high quality. The Bronco-faced heifer is one that's extremely proportional. She's shapely, she blends well, she's smooth. I think she's a little bit quick, but I think that heifer is in the hunt for the top 5 because she does a lot of good things, and she's really hard to throw a major hole at. She's playing with the boys out here, but I think she plays hardball. And then the young man's gold heifer that wraps up this last class, man, she is stretchy necked, and then behind there, she's got a monster back, a monster pin set. She's a little bit too high in her tailhead for me, and I'm kind of a tailhead freak. I like to tone her down there. I'd like to see her taller at the point of her shoulder. She wants to run downhill just a little bit more than ideal, but one that's going to get a second look out here for the top 5. Really good set of cattle. I'm going to set them down. I think the secret's out. Young lady here in the pink, you have the best one. Congratulations.
Champion feeder calf goes to Lauren McIntosh. We need Zoe Sawyers to enter the ring.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
This one just a little bit stouter, maybe have just a little bit more look from the side in regards to its hip and being a little bit taller fronted. I'm going to look at them just a little bit long. Let's give these kiddos a good round of applause. I'm going to get you a top 5.
Reserve champion goes to Gwyneth Souter. We need Alyssa Fisher to enter the ring. goes to Cody Sawyers. We need Brentley Long to enter the ring. Fourth overall goes to Jackson Mueller. We need Bailey Joy Davis to enter the ring. Fifth overall goes to Zoe Salters. We are going to take a 30-minute break before starting with the fat steer drive. So approximately 8:45 is start time for steers, 8:45.